where are the low value men? Like, what are all the low value men up to during these trying times? Because the high value men, I know they're around. They won't shut the fuck up. Low value men, I have not heard a word out of. I'm starting to think I'm on their side. I think I want one of those. I want a low value man. They don't make podcasts. I haven't seen one low value man make a podcast. Do they not know how to use microphones? Maybe that's a good thing. That's hot. All right, I've never seen a man use a microphone for good.
Until now, everybody buckle up. It's low value mail time with your host, Danny Polishchuk. Okay, what is happening, everybody? Welcome back to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail. You thought maybe something froze, but it didn't. Welcome, everybody, on this episode number 55. Can you believe we're at 55 episodes? You can believe it. This week, by the way, today's date, episode 55 is today's date, March 14th, 2023, in the year of our Lord. Still, the jury's out on which Lord, but that is where we are at. The topic this evening, as voted by you. Well, not you. Well, if you are a patron of the show, then you may have voted for it. I honestly thought that the banking thing was going to win because all the banking stuff's going on. But no, y'all did not give two shits about the banks, which I kind of applaud you for it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of applaud you. Well, we will be discussing it slightly, but I do applaud you for that. But our topic for this evening, which seems to be, I want to say is unanimous, but it had a pretty good showing, was the thing that happened to you that nobody believes. So I guess then this was a topic suggested by a viewer at some point. I don't remember when. It was I put out some sort of post maybe a month or two ago, and then I collected the ones that I liked the most, and then we ran them up, and here we are. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me on this Tuesday evening. Before we get started, just as always, a few things to get out of the way. So if you're listening, just leave a review, whatever you do. Leave a review, I guess. Give a rating. If you're watching this live, give a like or subscribe if you don't already subscribe. I guess some of you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel while we have it. Which who knows? I might be in jail in short order, and I'll be getting to why I think that may happen with a very, very interesting thing. And then, as always, we got an after show today at 11 p.m. that you can access by becoming a scrote on YouTube or Patreon or Locals. Those are the only ways. Get access. We have a good time. It starts at 11 p.m. It goes for about an hour. If you've never participated, we generally just kind of dick around. We watch videos. People call in. It's a good time. And so please support the show. My goal is eventually with the after show, and because I'm not gonna lie, I've been I'm making tweaks to Low Value Mail. I have this. It's still not quite exact. I still don't know exactly what I want this show to be, or what its final form is, if you will. I'm definitely gonna be having more guests. I'm looking at getting a producer that can help me just wrangle guests and such, because I'm very I got a lot on my plate right now, so I'm trying for that. And then, but yeah, so the Patreon show, my goal is eventually it'll just be a call-in show, kind of just like a straight call-in after show, because I'm getting so many copyright claims from YouTube for doing the streaming. But for now, whatever. It is what it is. We have a good time. Come join us. As always, tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m., we'll have a new episode of The Bathhouse, live from the Stand Comedy Club Green Room. If you haven't checked one of those out, I mean, they're great live, but they are honestly really funny. I get tons of different comedians come on. Sometimes we'll have 6, 7 different comedians per show. But at least we have 3 generally. It's been a fun time. So check that out. And then also just one last thing. No show next week. I will be unavailable next Tuesday, but we will be back the following Tuesday. Okay, so let's get to the low value mailbox. I got to make like a little drop for that or something, some sort of something. By the way, shout out to, who is this? Rusty Smackleford. Danny, send me the gosh darn shirts I won on Christmas already. I messaged you about that and I never heard back. I sent you an email or I messaged you on Patreon, but all it takes is DM me on Instagram, Twitter, and I will get back to you, Rusty. And Roman says shalom from Burlington. If you're talking about Burlington, Ontario, what is up? My hometown, B-town, if you will. But yeah, Rusty messaged me. I will be not shocked, but if it turns out that you have yet to message me about these shirts, I'm not gonna lie, I was smashed on Christmas during that female dating strategy stream. I don't even remember what you're talking about, but I will definitely send you a shirt. But just message me. We will get you that shirt ASAP. And if you want your own shirt, you can get one at lowvaluemail.com. We have all sorts of different shirts. We have got the Al Flimmets shirt, all that stuff. Anyways, where was I? Okay, so the thing that happened to you that nobody believes is our topic. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. We got to get to the low value mailbox. I got caught off guard over there by Rusty. We have one voicemail because I've been listening to a lot of them on the after show. So voicemail numero uno.
Hi, Daniel. This is Jordan Peterson. I was listening to your other podcast. What is it? The Bathhouse.
Right.
Bathhouse.
Yes.
I was listening to the Bathhouse, and somebody called in, and they were doing just a god-awful Tony Fauci impression.
Yes, people do
and I
horrible impressions.
Saying afterwards that somebody calls in doing a Jordan Peterson impression to low value mail. And I was just wondering who that is and why I haven't heard it. Because I love impressions and they just sound like a real hoot. And I listen to the show all the time and I haven't heard it. And I just really like to. So I don't know if you could direct me to what episodes those are, but I would love to hear it. It's always fun. So,
okay. The great Jordan Peterson, everybody. By the way, if you have not, Jordan Peterson, maybe one of the funniest things in, like, I don't know, a long time. Jordan Peterson retweets, he retweeted, he must have taken it down, I assume, but so his tweet is, he quote tweets and it says, "Such fun in unbelievable techno nightmare CCP hell," which is in reference to the communist Chinese Communist Party. And it's the tweet is from an account called Song Pingank with a Q on the end. And it says, "What's going on in China? 3 children policy? Question mark." And this says warning graphic pictures. And so I didn't know. I'm like, what is he talking about? I remember seeing this. I'm like, what? And then I clicked on it. I'm like, what the fuck? I honestly remember seeing it and it was so confusing to me. The two things, like him, like me watching this and him tweeting it. So it's like a BDSM, like porn video that he retweeted of men who are like attached to like what look to be like penis pumps that are just like basically jacking them off. Like it looks like it's like a farm. But he thought it was some dystopian nightmare going on in China where they moved off of their 1-child policy. And then they got to the 3-child policy, and he did delete it. but it is, man, because he's on Twitter way too much, and that was, holy jeez, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Jordan Peterson with his milking machine conspiracy, I guess. I don't know. It was insane. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I wanted to get to one story which I thought was pretty crazy. Someone said, Chad says they need to take his Twitter away at this point. Yeah, it's been like that for a while. Remember when he got kicked off too for like saying, I think, about the Elliot Page thing? And then you're probably like, his life was probably so much better just being kicked off of Twitter. Like, it probably was so much better. And then Elon Musk had to go buy Twitter and just fuck up his life. I guess. I don't know, but it was insane. But so, anyways, this the story that I was talking about, because I alluded to going to jail. I'm not going to cover the SVB thing, the Silicon Valley Bank thing, too much. But if you have a chance, go check out today's extra episode of the Boys Cast. We had Martin Shkreli in. He came into the studio last night. We filmed it, and it's out today. We talk about all sorts of stuff, and it's a pretty solid episode, to be perfectly honest. So go check that out. But we did. This is another thing we also did talk about very briefly in that podcast. But it seems to be, this is one of the crazier things. So there's this guy named Douglas Mackey. Douglas is currently on trial, or he's set to go to trial in Brooklyn, nearby, and he's facing, I believe, up to 10 years in jail for goofs and jokes and memes, essentially, is what it is. Not to get too flippant here, but he literally he literally made memes. So they ranked him. I can't remember who exactly put him at that, but he was ranked as he was ranked like the 109th most influential Twitter account. By his parents' description, he was just like this terminally online guy who was addicted to the internet, and he would post up to 100 tweets a day. He was constantly posting. He's currently 33 years old, but so he would just make memes. It was like that Carpe Donktum guy who got kicked off of Twitter. He was doing memes. It's like, you have to think that anything that's clearly a joke is anything that would be clearly a joke, you would think would have to be protected, right? Like, that's, as far as I understood, in America, you can kind of joke about anything. Like, that was, if you remember the Nathan For You I think it was the first season or second season when he did that dumb Starbucks thing, because he was kind of challenging like the satire laws in America, where if you essentially, the First Amendment's a big deal here, obviously. It's, they're not, I don't know if there's any other country that has such a thing, but he was making memes, okay? And the meme that got him in trouble, which is, this whole thing is so crazy, because you're like, I mean, again, I make all these dumbass green screen videos all the time, right? I'm constantly cranking these dumb green screen videos, and I'm like, the whole bit is that I'm impersonating people, and I'm like a part of my goal is that I legit am tricking people. Like, that's why it's funny, and it's funny for the in-group, like for everybody who watches it and they go, this is funny, but then there's like an added element of the humor when the comments are full of all these confused people who think it's real. Like, that's kind of like an added layer of why it's funny, right? But so his Twitter handle was Ricky Vaughn, okay? And he was a big Trump guy. His profile picture, which is, I think this is somewhat of an important point. His profile photo was Ricky Vaughn from Major League, the movie, played by Charlie Sheen, wearing a MAGA hat. So it was essentially Charlie Sheen in a MAGA hat, but in like a Cleveland Indians uniform. And so he made this one meme. I guess he made a lot of memes, but he made this one meme where he basically said the meme was avoid the line. This is the 2016 election. It said avoid the line, vote from home, which is kind of funny, right? He said avoid the line, vote from home, text Hillary to 59925. Vote for Hillary and be a part of history. So he made this thing. They are alleging that, I guess, this is election interference, is what they're saying. And again, that's like a funny joke, you know? That, like, at least to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like too far gone. But that just seems hilarious that you could get someone on Twitter to be like, oh shit, I didn't realize I could vote by text. And so, and he had a pretty big Twitter account. Like, again, they were saying he was like something 100 and something most influential person, right? So he had this big Twitter account. And so apparently 4,900 people texted this number. This is their big smoking gun, is 4,900 people texted this number. They don't know that those people still didn't go to vote. They have no way of proving that. All they know, and again, like, someone could have seen that, and then as a joke, like, could have been one of his conservative followers as a joke, and then they text that, right? But they count that. They go, that's one person who was duped, even though you could have just been like, oh, I wonder if this is like a real thing. What happens if I text this, right? Like, there could have been literally 0 people truly misled. But anyways, they're like just legit dinging this guy for election like interference, and he's going to trial. Like, he legit has a trial. It was supposed to start today in Brooklyn, but then some like star witness or whatever that they had was removed or whatever. But this guy is straight up just makes memes. I thought, like, this is America. I thought that was the whole deal, is you could just make memes. And then there's, you know, if you look at the articles and stuff, you know, a lot of them there's this woman, Christina Wong, who she did the exact same thing. She said, hey, Trump supporters, skip poll lines at election 2016 and text in your vote. Text votes are legit, or vote tomorrow. Damn it, I said a Canadianism. Or vote tomorrow on Super Wednesday. This video has 824,000 views, so pretty substantial. She made a little video. I can't imagine the Justice Department is coming after her. But this dude, it's like, it's not even that big of a story. You think this would be a bigger story. I think it's starting to become a bigger story a little bit, because I don't, like, again, obviously if you hate Trump, then you're like, yeah, this guy should legit go to jail for 10 years. That is what his punishment should be. And I mean, I do, America is weird. Like, I have seen things where they go, like, someone wasn't allowed to vote, because I guess felons are not allowed to vote in America. And then there was something where, like, I can't remember where it was, but she had some, like, minor charge, and she thought it was, like, expunged or something. But then they sent her the voting thing, so then she went and voted, and then she had to, like, go to jail for 2 years. Like, America's justice system is insane, to say the least. It is pretty fucked up. But this is kind of next level. And even if he wins, like, his life is still probably completely screwed. I would have to imagine that the amount of money that he's going to have to spend to defend himself against this is probably going to be a lot. I can't imagine that when you're going up against the federal government. So, and I don't even, I don't know what's going to happen with this. My hope is just as precedent setting, because, I mean, what happens, I guess, is it only elections you can't joke about? Is that the only thing you're not allowed to joke about? Is that it? I don't know. But this seems like one of the crazier stories that I've seen in a while. I'll definitely follow this as we go along. And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about the bank thing. If you want to listen, hear about the bank thing, you can listen to the Boys Cast that came out today, featuring the dog Martin Shkreli. Someone said jokes need to be funny. That is a funny. I mean, again, though, the guy was doing 100 tweets a day. He was tweeting 100 times a day. Like, how many memes might he have made? Like, maybe, 10% of his memes are funny. And again, that's not funny in and of itself. It is funny, and maybe this is what the legal issue is that it is funny if there's stupid people on the internet who see that and they go, oh, shit, that's way better than going to wait in line or leaving the house to go vote. I'll just text my vote in. And I'm sure, I mean, again, hilarious if they're texting. I'm like, why isn't everybody else doing this? This is incredible. This is like a life hack right here. Why aren't other people doing this? So, anyways, all right, I'm going to give my one story about a thing that happened to me that nobody believes. I don't even know if nobody believes it. It's kind of a gray area. It was closer that something was happening, and then other person during it didn't believe it was happening to me. It happened when I was probably like 12, or something. Someone says, does adding the votes back in change the vote? No, it doesn't. It was 4,900 votes. I mean, imagine Hillary. That was like those 4,900 votes would have got Hillary Clinton elected. We'd be living in a completely different world. Completely different. Harvey Weinstein would still be making movies. Probably wouldn't have been COVID. It would have been a wild time. But anyways, my one story, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines for you. And I mean, you voted for this, so I hope you got some good stories for me. So when I was like 12 years old, I was living in Canada, obviously, and I went. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, his dad's like company had season tickets for the Toronto Blue Jays, the baseball team, and they had these tickets. So if you've ever seen a Toronto Blue Jays game, or if maybe you're from there, whatever, they have these seats called the in the action seats. They're like they're right behind home plate. They're the 2 rows behind home plate, and I guess they were introduced in like the 90s, and my friend's dad's company got 2 of them, and the 2 seats he got were the second row closest to the Blue Jays dugout. So you're like basically in the dugout. It was crazy. I went to like a few games in those seats when I was a kid. His dad would give them to us, and it was awesome. Like, I was a huge baseball fan. I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. And we would go, I was so into baseball. Like, I love baseball. So we would go early sometimes. Like, we would go an hour, 2 hours before the game started. And we just sit on the field basically. You talk to some of the players and shit. It was fun. It was awesome, right? But so there's this player who used to play for the Toronto Blue Jays. He played for the Dodgers as well. His name was Raul Mondesi. And I believe his son plays in the major leagues right now, Raul Mondesi Jr., I think. I don't know if he's currently in. Yeah, someone says they're the TD seats now. So, and my friend still has those seats, or his dad does. But so anyways, we're sitting in the seats, and it was like a day game, and we were kind of like, before the game, we had like kind of talked with like a couple of the players. I remember Esteban Loaiza, who I believe is in jail right now for cocaine trafficking. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it is Esteban Loaiza. He's currently, I'm pretty sure he's in jail for cocaine trafficking. And he was released from prison on August 6, 2021, deported to Mexico. But he did get arrested and incarcerated for cocaine trafficking, pretty high level stuff. But so him and Raul Mondesi. So basically, like right before the game started, and I was like a super like awkward, like 12-year-old kid or whatever. Raul Mondesi, there was a guy and his girlfriend or like wife or whatever. She was pretty attractive, and they were sitting with their like dad or something. And so Raul Mondesi, like right before the game starts, or like somewhere around, he goes, hey, can you get me that girl's number? Like, to me, he's like, yo, can you get me that girl's number? And I was like, what? It's like, I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, what are you talking about? Get you her number. And he's like, yeah. Like, can you get me her number? And I honestly was kind of like just taken aback. I was like, I've never gotten a girl's number up until that point. That would be a first. That would be the first girl's number I ever got. And he's like, can you get this girl's number? And it's like during a game, or it's before the game started. And then so the game starts, and every time he would come in, because he was an outfielder, every time he would come into the outfield, he would like motion to me. He's like, did you get the number or whatever? And I remember I was like, what the fuck? I gotta go ask her for this number. He's like, he won't leave me alone about this. Like, he literally wouldn't leave me alone. He would constantly be like, yo, give me this girl's number. He probably thought it was hilarious, right? He's like getting this little kid to get me this dude's number or this girl's number or whatever. And so at like the 7th inning, he kept being like, "Yo, like, what's up? Where's her number?" And then I go, I'm like, you know what? Fine, fuck it. So I walk over to her and I go, "Hey, ma'am," and she's like, "What? What do you want?" I'm like, Raul Mondesi, the guy on the Blue Jays, the outfielder. He had the biggest. I remember his arms. He was so roided out. That guy was on so many steroids. His arms were like fucking massive. But it was like he asked me to get your he wants your phone number. And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, he wants your phone number." She's like, "Yeah, that's really funny." And I go, "No, seriously." She goes, "All right." And not, like, I don't know. Like, she kind of, and then she like ignored me, and I like walked back dejected. And then he went out again, and he comes back again. It's like probably like the 8th inning. He's like, "What's the deal? Like, you get it?" I go, "Like, I try." He's like, "Try again." And I'm just like, so I go back and go, "Hey," I'm like, "I'm serious. He actually wants your phone number. Like, he's keeps asking me to get your phone number." And then her like, I guess her dad or the father-in-law was like, "Oh no, this is her." I can't remember. It was like boyfriend or husband, but like, he's like, "She's taken. She's not available." But she didn't believe me, and then but she still like didn't believe me, even though she was with someone. And then so I was like, "You know what? Hold on." And then I go back and I go, she doesn't believe me. Can you give me like a baseball and sign it or whatever?" And then he basically went and he signed a baseball, and then he gave it to me, and then I walked over and I go, "See, here you go. He really does want your number." And then she kind of just like laughed, I guess. I don't know. It's not that good of a story, but Raul Mondesi, Toronto Blue Jays legend, steroid user. I did see him. I do believe I saw him hit a home run in the upper deck of the what would be now the Rogers Center. So that was my story. This was not my topic idea, so I was like, that's the closest thing I have to that, but maybe I'll think of something different. Anyways, we are going to open up the phone lines. The phone lines are now open. 646-710-0949. Do you have any stories? The thing that happened to you that nobody believes. Someone says you middleman for a baseball player. I did middleman for a baseball player. All right. We got our first call of the evening. There's our man, Chad. Chad, what's up, man?
What's going on, Danny? How you doing?
Good. How you?
I'm good, man. Just chilling.
Cool.
I have a story.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right. So I was working at this seafood place back in the day,
Okay.
and I remember I got off work pretty late one night. And at this time, this when I was full blown into my conspiracy theories, all of them. And so I was quite vigilant for the Illuminati. But,
Like you're on the look. You're constantly on the lookout for Illuminati.
yeah, well, I was just, I don't know. I feel like it was more like paranoid, like, when you think that you figured everything out and then you're trying to connect these dots and stuff.
Of course.
Like, oh, yeah, that must have been the Illuminati right there.
What year was this?
This was 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was
fresh off of 9/11, kind of, I guess.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
But so I got off work one night, and it was pretty late, and then I got to my car, and in my like windshield wipers, somebody had left a note for me, and it was just like this note talking about the Illuminati's watching, and like what else? It said like rap music won't save your soul. I think I might have told the story at one point.
I don't think you told me the story. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it was like hip hop won't save your soul and like all this type of stuff. I kept the note for a long time. I think I threw it away like maybe like 3 years ago or something like that. But yeah, I guess now that I've thrown it away, it might seem like I'm a more of a made up story,
I believe it. But so you don't think that like that was just one of your coworkers like pranking you or something?
Well, it wouldn't have been one of my because I didn't really like know them that well. I was just working there while I was going to college or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think I do. I think I have a culprit of who it might have been. It could have been one of my friends that was trying to mess with me because everybody knew I was into that type of stuff. So and then it was like,
yeah,
and it was like crudely, put together. Like you'd think if it was really the Illuminati, they would have had at least some paper with some like letterheads or something on it.
Or
So,
would it
nah.
be like the cutout, like, you know, when you're like holding someone ransom or whatever, and then you like cut out the letters individually
It was kind of
and
like
like
that,
glue
but
them?
yeah, but they didn't glue it. I don't know. I feel like I remember it had like crayon on it and stuff like that. Like they was just really trying to mess with me. But yeah, man, that's my story of something that other people might not actually believe.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Thanks, dog. Anything
I,
else? No, I guess it's probably most people are not gonna have two stories that nobody would believe.
nah, I mean, I'm sure I could think of it. I already told you about I told you about when we saw the UFO. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
might be the biggest one.
yeah. The UFO one. I mean, the UFO one is the story that almost nobody believes. I think that right now that's the one where people are just like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, truth be told, even when I hear other people's UFO stories, I'm be like, "You sure you wasn't high?"
I mean, even the guy who called in, that guy Format or whatever from near, like in Canada, and his story where he's like, it was like in front of me and it was spinning around. And even he tells it, and the way he tells it, you're like, seems like that's a hard thing for you to kind of
To
like,
make up, right?
to not even to make up, but like to kind of fuck up that like you saw something else or whatever. Like the way he
Right.
explains it, I'm like, well, if that's what you're saying happened, like that's the only thing you could have really seen. And then I'm still kind of like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, man. That paranormal stuff, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's the hardest to prove.
yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, cool, Chad. Thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
All right. Chad, everybody. Yeah, I'm looking someone somewhere on the YouTube. All right, we got oh, here we go. We got Wallaby. What's up?
Hey, Danny, it's Wallaby.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? Well,
I
you seem like you're doing okay too.
I am excellent. Yes, sir. Long time.
Hate it.
Long time. Did you say you hate it?
No, I didn't say I hate it. I said you look like you're doing good as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't hate you, buddy.
No,
You're
no,
great. I was plugging you in Louis J. Gomez's Discord the other day, telling people how much funnier you are than Ryan and how they need to check you out.
I mean, I go on his show all the time. I've been on.
Oh yeah.
I go on a lot of their stuff. But yeah. So what's up? What's your story that you got?
So do you remember that comedian Gallagher that used to smash the fruit?
Of course.
I did sound for him once in Evansville, Indiana, and after the show, the what's it called? The promoter, the venue manager, busted out a joint. He's like, "You guys want to get high?" And it's like, "Sure." And we're sitting there getting high with Gallagher, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to recite a rap to you guys that I wrote about the Ten Commandments." And then Gallagher starts to recite this really corny rap about the Ten Commandments. It's like, "Mind your parents, kids," but like it's very just like predictable.
Yeah.
And like we're just standing there listening to it. And I said, okay, I have to get a picture of all of us or nobody's going to believe this story. And that's the story.
Did you get the picture?
I did.
Okay, so you have a picture. Can you put it in the? Is it like on?
I'll send it to you.
Is it digitized?
Yeah, it's on my phone.
And it's what, you and Gallagher?
Me and Gallagher and the guy that managed the venue.
Oh, okay. And was he making up the rap?
He said that he had written it a long time ago.
And he just happened to.
He was just like, "I'm just gonna recite this to you guys," and nobody asked.
Nobody asked.
He took one hit off the joint, and he was like, "Hey, you guys want to hear this rap I wrote about the Ten Commandments?" We're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
sure."
I mean, he seems like he probably would have been a pothead. I mean, that definitely checks
Oh,
out.
yeah. I mean, yeah, the way he was hitting it, he definitely was.
Yeah.
I tell you, he was crazy coming in the venue though, because he immediately started laying into the venue manager about the stage because they like put him on a choir riser instead of a stage. He immediately came in there. "I'm swinging this fucking hammer, and it's this amount of force and so many pounds of pressure. You're gonna put me on a fucking choir riser. It's gonna break apart and rip into somebody's face." And then the manager's like, "I'll just go get a sheet of plywood and hopefully that'll spread the force out." He's like, "Yeah, there you go, you fucking idiot. Just put more weight on the stage. I told you it's not already gonna squirt." Like, oh my god.
He's like one of the main guys who, when I go watch his videos, for people who don't know what we're talking about, this comedian Gallagher from the 80s, And then his closer was he would smash a Did he only smash a watermelon, or he smashed?
No, he did a lot of other food too. Because like I've actually seen him a couple of times live before this, and I think one of the times I saw his twin brother. Because one of the times I saw him, and it really sucked. And like he was totally disorganized, and like he didn't have like much, like he didn't have any like background gags. He was just like, oh yeah, 9/11, here's what my hammer, and that was it. Like then the other time, and the one other time I saw him, and the time I worked for him, he actually did bits before he went into the hammer stuff. But there was one time I saw him, he was just literally just smashing food the whole time and getting kids up on the stage and like calling them pussies and stuff. Like it was weird.
Like, did he swear, or was it like a?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I still thought he was like
he did racial jokes in 2017.
Yeah, that I think I remember actually seeing something like that. Well, that was like kind of right before he died, right?
I think it was 2017 or 18 when he died. I think it was before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he died during COVID, but yeah, he was that, like, just watching his things and just the idea that people were going on a night out, you know, and they're like, you're going to get covered in shit if you like sit anywhere near the front. Like, you're literally just going to get covered in
it was
garbage.
crazy cleaning it up. It was because I had to help clean it up too. It was crazy, but he like put down a bunch of plastic like all over the venue. And then at the end of the night, we just kind of like picked it all up the best we could into like, you know, about 40 or 50 garbage bags.
Yeah, there was 40 or 50 garbage bags worth of stuff.
Well, because he's got all the backdrop plastic to like keep it from going on the walls. So there's that on top of all the food waste and all the containers that the food came from. You know what I mean? Yeah, all that.
That's okay. That is mental. I can't even imagine too, like, as a comic. I guess he was famous at that point, but you're like, when you're like, you know, like, imagine going around New York and like just doing sets here and there and then setting up your fucking plastic. I guess it was just a totally different time, and more so he's like, I don't need to work this bit out. Like, this bit is done. Like, he probably just didn't even need to do that. He's like, this bit's done. Just doing that.
I remember one specific time when he was doing the food thing. He was talking about he was putting eggs with marshmallows because he was saying because when you hit them, that when they fly in the air, they look like sperm, and that gets the ladies in the mood for when y'all guys get home tonight.
What?
Yeah, I know. He was ate up.
He's
dude.
Wacky, man. That dude was so nuts.
Well, all right, Danny. Yeah, that was my story.
Cool, Wallaby. Nice talking to you, man.
It's nice talking to you, buddy. See you.
Wallaby, everybody. Check him out. Nameless Wallaby. On YouTube, he does the intro music, or part of the intro music for the Bathhouse. All right. We got another call. Hello. Thanks for calling the Low Value Mail. Almost said the Bathhouse.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? Who am I speaking with?
It's Andrew from South Ontario.
Andrew from South Ontario. What's up, pal?
I was the guy who called in about the rapism theory.
Oh, the rapism. Right. Yeah. I vaguely remember what you were talking about then, but if you want to illuminate us. Andrew. I think we lost you, man. All right, that was Andrew, everybody. We lost Andrew. Maybe he'll call back. I don't know. Someone says, I thought the watermelon guy was Danny's dad. Not fucking cool. Hello. Thanks for calling Low Value Mail. This is Andrew again.
It's Andrew from South Ontario.
Andrew, what's up, man? We lost you there for a second.
Yeah, sounds good. So, when I was a kid, my parents took me and my friend, who was an orphan, camping. And I don't know if you remember. Your friend was
an orphan?
Yeah, he was an orphan.
How old was he?
Orphan kid. This is about 13, 14.
And what, he was just on his own?
Pretty much, yeah. He was a street kid.
Oh, okay. Damn, that sucks.
And we took him camping because, hey, everybody should go camping a little bit, right?
Yeah. Camping in northern Ontario somewhere.
And
Algonquin Park or something.
Around there. But do you remember in Ontario, there was that farmer who kept his wife's corpse in his basement, and he like kept fucking his corpse wife. Do you remember that story?
I do not remember that. When was that?
Oh man, about 15 years ago.
15 years ago, there was a farmer who was having sex with his wife's corpse.
Yeah, he formaldehyded her in a way to keep her fuckable.
Ew.
And that was his thing.
What?
How
did I not hear about this?
It was close to his farm. And you know, if somebody's doing that to his wife, he's probably doing weird things to people around the area.
Yeah.
That's not a guy who goes to 7-Eleven and acts regular.
This isn't, not Dylan Millard. I'm trying to Google this, but
well, no, but that's also got ties. What? Millard keeps stabbing those cellmates who snitch. What?
That I don't know. I haven't kept up on the Dylan Millard thing, but I can't find this. I'm trying to find an article about this. I don't even know what I want to search for this. Man,
what's that?
What man who has sex with dead husband?
No, man who he had a wife.
Or dead wife, sorry.
Yeah, he formaldehyde his wife himself.
Okay.
And kept having sex. Not Dylan Millard. That was another call, Danny. That was another time.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're the guy who kind of knew him or knew the other friend or whatever. Okay.
I was an acquaintance, right?
You're an acquaintance. All right. Well, I cannot find anything about a Canadian man who had sex with his dead wife. So, but not to say that it didn't happen, but we can't.
Well,
find
15 years ago, that shit used to be less popular to be popularized, to be saved in the media. No?
I think that would have made the news in 2008. That would have been newsworthy, for sure.
It was. I don't know. It depends if you lived in that area.
No, that would have been national Canadian news if they found a body. I might have to be searching this right, but.
All right. Well, after my call, I'll start searching it and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
But anyways, me and my friend were camping in this area, and two young dudes. When you're camping, you want to go out and find pussy, right?
What? When you're camping?
Yeah, you're on a campground.
Oh, you're at like a campground. Yeah, I don't know. Most of the camping I've done has been like pretty remote, where it's just you. You know, that would be like.
Your parents took you to isolated camping?
My parents never took me camping. They were not campers, but I would go camping with friends. You know, and you'd go to like a campsite, but there'd be like nobody around. It would just be us.
That's different. That's when you're going out to do mushrooms and not act insane.
Yeah.
But when your parents,
this is just like at a campsite. Yeah, I get that. This is like with your parents at like a campsite. Yeah, I know what you mean.
When your parents take you camping, you're like, there's a lot of other like maybe girls our age who are out here isolated.
Okay.
Well, so me and my boy are staking out the area.
I don't know if this is going to be a creepy thing, but man, the way your voice sounds and the way you're saying it sounds like it's going to be you're admitting to something potentially illegal.
No, we were children, man.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I was 13, 14.
Okay, so you're looking, you're at the campsite, you're looking for some sniz. Walking around.
We find some sniz, and then we say, hey, what's up? You want to meet up later, hang out? We'll get alcohol.
Okay.
And they're like, bam, that's the answer. So they're like, all right, we'll meet up later. So we go into town to shoulder tap. This was a thing back in the day. You used to have to shoulder tap when you were underage.
Right.
I don't know if it's, where you'd ask people to go, hey, can you buy me
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you this much money. And it wasn't classy alcohol. It's like, hey, go buy me fucking Smirnoff and 340s.
What's wrong with Smirnoff? I'm pretty sure I drink that shit right now.
Well, that's why you're living in that apartment behind me.
It's a green screen. But yeah, continue. Go ahead.
So we're picking up the alcohol. We get the alcohol. No, pardon me. While we're getting the alcohol, we're waiting outside for the person who's buying us the alcohol to come out. And this person drives up driving something that looks like a fucking something out of the Addams Family car.
Okay.
And they're like, "Hey, what do you need?" And me and my boy are like, "No, we're good. Someone's already taking, like, we're already good." And the guy in the back seat is jerking his dick off, looking at us. And this isn't regular looking people. These are all like fucking freaks from like fucking Innisfil or something.
Yeah. I'm aware of Innisfil. I don't know about Innisfil, but I know of it.
But these are all out of townies. This is like Ohio people. Like, to the people in the States, they might think of these as Ohio people.
Ohio people, yeah.
Very, very creepy fucks. And we're like, we're good. Get the fuck out of here. Beat it. So then the guy comes out. He gives us our alcohol. We ride it on our bikes back to our campsite.
Okay.
And then we meet the girls up. And then we're like, let's find an abandoned campsite. Let's start a fire. See what happens.
Yeah.
So my boy, who has been the super hard dude now, but he was a piss weight in drinking then.
Okay. You're still friends with him?
So he what's that?
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He passes out, and then the two girls are still awake, so I start having sex with the two girls.
Oh, shut up.
Swear to God. One of the girls' names has a real name, but the girl I end up copulating with, I ended up fucking nutting hard in. Her name is Pin.
What?
Pin. The other girl had a real name, but the girl I had sex with was named Pin.
And you think you potentially impregnated her?
Oh, fuck yeah. I impregnated her twice.
What?
And then...
What do you mean twice?
Like, I nutted, like...
Like you're saying the velocity and the force means that there was two impregnations?
This was my first hardcore threesome copulation, and I had been backed up.
You were 13. What do you mean you were backed up?
Are you saying 13-year-olds aren't backed up?
I mean,
Danny?
like they are, but like all the time. It's like that's the default is backed up.
Danny, I was ready. I could have probably inseminated a whole team of volleyball players at that age.
Yeah, specifically volleyball players.
Well, that was my thing back then.
Are you Clint Howard? That's what people want to know.
Pardon me?
I said people want to know if you're Clint Howard. That's who you sound like, Clint Howard. Disregarded. Anyways, okay, Andrew, wrap this up.
No.
Okay, so this is
I'm
your story
talking...
that happened that nobody believes is that you had a threesome when you were 13?
Okay. So I'm making love with Penn.
Okay.
And I'm nutting in her. I'm sending in a second batch into Penn. And the scariest thing was there was so much light in the sky around us that I'm like, oh my God, is the FBI busting us right now?
Okay.
I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like, oh fuck, we're fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I'm busted. So much booze. We've been smoking weed. This is nuts. I'm like, I have my fucking pants off. This 2 girls have been sucking my dick. I've been fucking. I'm like, I'm fucked. And then the next thing I remember, I woke up in a Honda Civic on the other side of the fucking park, missing a boot and one of my tires missing off of my fucking bike.
Off your bike.
And the bike was on the other side of the park.
Okay. So you just got so blackout drunk, or you think they drugged you, or what do you think happened here?
No, none of it makes sense. Because then the next morning, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, a part of me is just remorseful man. I'm like, did I make a fucking baby with this fucking retard named Penn?
I'm sure she was thinking a similar thing, assuming this happened.
So yeah, probably she did.
No offense.
So then no, none taken. So then I rode to the fucking place where, well, I rode the only usable bike, my friend who passed out and had skirted his way home because he couldn't fuck with 2 girls.
Okay.
So I rode that bike to the fucking, the station that we had met at. And I had met that girl, so the girl who had a real English name. And I was like, where's Penn? And she's like, who? And I'm like, the girl you had brought. I'm like, the girl you had brought. And she's like, there was no girl.
What is this, a fucking ghost story or something?
I don't know, but there was a girl. 2 girls sucked my dick. I fucked one of them. I double jizzed.
Double jizz.
There were bright lights, and then I woke up in a stranger's Honda Civic.
Sounds like you probably got hit by a car on your bike. That's why you lost the tire, and then you imagined all that.
How would I have come home with all the alcohol, no bruises?
I don't know. I feel like this is more of a topic for a paranormal episode. All right, Andrew, I got to let you go. This has been way too long and crazy.
All right, buddy. But no, that's some fucking alien shit. Pin, if you're out there and you hear this transmission, I love you. And I will raise that baby.
How old are you right now?
How old am I?
Yeah.
31.
So that baby's 18. Baby's off to college. It's too late, man.
Well, who knows
you missed
what
the
baby's
boat.
an alien.
You missed the boat, Andrew. All right, Andrew, I got to let you go. This is too insane. Later, man.
So you're saying I don't have to pay them anymore?
Yeah, you're free and clear, pal. It's time to celebrate. All right.
All right.
All right, maybe I let that go on too long. Maybe I did. I don't know. I wanted to see where he was going with that. I'm sure people are like, what in the fuck did we just listen to? He is usually pretty drunk when he calls into the show. He's called in before. He's pretty loaded generally, but I don't know. He had me hooked. Something about that had me hooked. Hook, line, and sinker. Hello, thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Hey, Danny, I got through.
Yes,
you
got through. What's up?
Right on, man. This is Greg in New Hampshire.
Greg in New Hampshire. What's up?
Yeah, it's been a while. I've called before on the Patreon. Anyway,
cool.
I was just listening to the voice cast with Screlly.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what the hell the guy before me was talking about.
I have honestly no idea.
Kind of wild.
He was so insane, but for
sounded
some reason I
debaucherous.
couldn't hang up.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Well, I understand. You get sucked into these things.
Yeah.
But it kind of got me hot under the collar. I've got personal stake in this AI thing now, I guess, if he's going to make an AI doctor.
Yeah. Why, are you a doctor?
No, my wife is, and
Okay.
she's been busting her ass for the last 15 years.
So for people who don't know, this is related to the Emergency Boys Cast episode, but Martin Shkreli is designing an AI app that he plans to essentially replace not all doctors, but just essentially replace your first point of contact. Like if you go to, in America, the urgent cares,
Well, I mean, that's the initial goal, right? But who knows? Like,
who knows?
And my point is broader. Like, it got me having skin in the game because obviously, I don't know. I resent the comments of like, well, what are doctors good for? It's like, do you know what it takes to do that? But that's kind of beside the point.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, no, it's obviously a very hard job, and the fact is,
and like it's just hours and hours and hours at the end of. She works till midnight every night.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, and like, there is an element obviously that can't be replaced, but there probably is an element that can.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's, my point is larger than just that. That's what got me to call. But
okay.
My question that I'll, maybe I'll try and turn this episode a little more intellectual. We'll see. I don't know. It is low value mail, but I know there's some smart listeners. But what do we do if we get there? Like what do we do if we get to a place in society where we go, these skilled jobs that pay high wages now, those aren't really useful anymore because the computer can do them. And now really the only things that are useful are things that require people to do it with their hands.
Yeah.
Like pipe fitting, be a plumber, be an electrician.
Yeah, like a plumber. Yeah, exactly.
But here's the twist. There's no one to hire plumbers because none of those people have jobs. So like,
well, those people will have to subside in some way, like assuming.
That's what I'm asking.
So
that's what I'm asking.
Say your wife gets replaced and she's no longer like there's like not even your wife specifically. Say X percentage of the population, like a substantial percentage of the population, no longer has anywhere to work because so many jobs have just like been replaced by computers essentially.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine the real mechanics of that, but I'll stipulate that.
Yeah. This is a pretty theoretical thing, but in that scenario, I mean, there has
like
to be
UBI
there has to be some sort of UBI or something where people have to be allowed to money to live. At which point, you're gonna still need electricity, and you're gonna still need electricians.
Right. Well, I mean, and people
but the crazy thing is you won't need any more electricians. Like there's, like I'm sure there could maybe be like some percentage more electricians, but it's not. Well,
don't forget the future involves children and training people to be the next generation. Ryan's comment about like, oh, well, the junior doctors, the residents, you won't need them. It's like, well, they're learning to be doctors. That's why they're doing the shit work right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you have to train the next generation always, no matter what the job is.
Yeah, no question. But and there'll always be. I don't think that's gonna fully replace humans, but like, I don't know, maybe it will. Like my whole thing with the AI thing is like we're 4 months into this. Like
I know
it kind of being out or whatever, 5 months. Like it's been out since like mid-November.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to think about the acceleration and where it could possibly go. I mean, I know how to do a lot of stuff with my hands. I'm like, I forget what you call that. There's a term for like guys that embrace the old school. I'm an anti-Bugman. Yeah, that's right. Which I'm looking forward to that, by the way. Bugman versus Bugman. But like as someone who knows what it is to do things in the real world with your hands, I recognize that there's more to the world than just like information and computers. Like you have to, at some point, manipulate the matter around us. And I don't think that we're going to be close to a place where machines can just build machines to go do minute, tasks. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I think about it a lot.
Yeah. The machines building the machines. I don't know. Like maybe it's possible. I
3D print a lot of stuff for work, and it's not like it's intervention free. Like there's a lot of, it basically gives you a part, but then you still sometimes have to modify the part. You got assemble them in free space using tools. There's a lot that goes into it.
I don't think we're gonna replace people. Like I don't think there's gonna be a scenario where they're like, yeah, we got so far down this that we don't need people. Like his analogy where we become like the zoo animals kind of thing, and then like we're the zoo animals for the.
I actually only got halfway through. I had to pause it because I realized you were live. I was like, I'm going to call Dan.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he gives this analogy where he basically, I think it involves like Ray Kurzweil's theory or whatever with the singularity, but essentially just how zoo animals are for us. We become the zoo animals for. I guess the robots or whatever, like the AI, where we just like we just live. But there's
I don't like it.
No, it's not great. And I mean, I think that's what a lot of people are saying right now is that You can't put
Yeah.
the genie back in the bottle, you know, like it's out.
Yeah, I liked Skrelly for a minute, and then like now I'm a little anti again. I don't know. If he wants to accelerate us into this, I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Well, it seems like his position was it's happening regardless of
And I
whether you
understand
like
that.
it or
yeah,
not,
things
or
get
whether
momentum.
or whether he does
But
anything.
sometimes it's you give something credence by endorsing it, or
Right.
like
I mean, he is
it's
actually
the energy.
actively working on it, so
That too. Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
But,
So anyway, I just wanted to spark a conversation, see what other people had to say. If people want to call in with other stories besides getting lost in a park and getting gonorrhea or whatever happened.
Yeah.
So
all right, cool, man.
all right, cheers, man.
Thanks, man.
Maybe I'll call back in at the Patreon.
All right, take care.
All right, peace.
All right, yeah. Totally 180-degree turn on this episode. We went from talking about getting abducted in a park or some shit to AI taking our jobs. Hello.
Danny, it's Wallaby again.
What's up, Wallaby? How you doing, man?
Hey, that last caller reminded me of something that I think about probably way too much,
Okay.
but I wanted to share it with you.
Yes.
Talking on the subject of AI. Here's something. So, like, I think it's in Arizona, they have a rideshare company that is, they're all self-driving cars.
Yeah, it's I think Google owns it. It's like the name of it's on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I saw there's another YouTuber named John B. Christ who's a comedian.
Yeah, John Christ. Yeah, he's my friend.
And so ever since I saw that video,
Waymo, that's what it is. Waymo, yeah.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about. Okay, so like, at what point are these self-driving vehicles? I should back up. I keep thinking about, there's a specific episode of Star Trek where the robot that's on the ship, Data, they go to court to determine whether or not Data has rights as an individual or if he's property.
Okay.
And I wonder when we're going to get there with self-driving cars, because if a self-driving car can, essentially, take people, do drives, do deliveries or whatever, and then it can collect the currency. Like, it's only a few computer systems that would prevent it from being able to take that currency and then, I don't know, drive itself to the mechanic or to the charging station or whatever, to pay for that service. So if it's exchanging currency that it earned through labor to preserve itself,
well, I'd say
what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think they say that it's the Turing test. Like, it has to be able to pass the Turing test, which there was that one Google engineer, we watched it on the Patreon like a month ago or something, but saying that, like, he's worried that AI is going to be able to pass the Turing test very soon, where it's, I guess it's like indistinguishable from a human. I can't remember the exact specifications of the Turing test, but with that, I don't know exactly about with the cars, because like they're not collecting the money. It's like you're sending the money to Google. A car is just coming to pick you up, for example, and like so I don't know if that is
but that's
these
the
are
question.
all different kind of segments, like these are all different parts that are acting as like a whole
Well, that was something that they asked about in Star Trek, is like, if we own this thing and we call it an object, but it acts in its own self-interest, but we claim to own it, isn't that slavery?
I mean, yeah, there's a whole field dedicated to like AI ethics, basically. And
Gerard asked with Star Trek. We're talking about Next Generation.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Next Gen. Okay. But I mean, yeah, there's a whole field dedicated. There's people who talk about this all the time, and probably these discussions are happening more and more now because it's starting to feel like this is close. I don't know. I mean, Shkreli said we might be 2 years away from.
I mean, I don't know. I think about it a lot because, like, where I grew up, there's still a lot of places within the city limits where there aren't sidewalks. So, like, I go and I see much of society, like, designed for these vehicles, and then you think about, like, okay, well, if they can start conducting themselves without the need of, like, a human input.
Well, no, they'll always need a human.
Did we just hand them our society?
No, well, that'll be scary if they're able to do stuff. Because at the end of the day, like, one of those cars still needs to be told, like, go here, pick up this thing or this person, take them here, So I don't know if necessarily like the car is the best analogy. I think a closer one would be like if you've ever seen that movie Ex Machina.
I have not.
Oh, go watch that. That'll freak you out way
Is that
more
the one with
It's with Oscar Isaac.
Oh, I've seen memes.
It's
yes, I've
really
seen
good.
the memes
It's
of it.
From 2014. It's with I don't know who else is in it. But it's written by some guy, Alex Garland. But it's basically about this guy who's essentially like Mark Zuckerberg kind of dude, and he has all these like robots, but they're like human to him. And then, but I guess the whole thing is, he doesn't. He still thinks they're robots, but they've passed that point and like have essentially, become aware of themselves, and it's pretty crazy. It's a really good movie.
No robosexuals though.
They are like they have sex and stuff. Yeah, they're like
awesome.
They're all like hot chicks.
Just to leave on this note, whenever I hear about people having sex as robots, I think about an old Frank Zappa song called "A Token of My Extreme," where he's talking about having sex with a washing machine.
I've never heard that. I like Zappa though. I've never heard that song though.
Right on. Thanks, Danny.
All right, later, Welby. Yeah, maybe we should just do a whole AI episode on its own sometime. But yeah, that what do I call it? Ex Machina, amazing movie if you've never seen it. Hello,
Danny. Hey, it's Jim from Washington.
Jim
How are you?
from Washington. What's up, pal?
I almost said my last name, and that would have been a mistake.
That would have been fucking stupid, Jim.
Yeah, I'm sure I've said some fucked up shit on your show before, buddy.
I remember what happened to him, but like one of the very early episodes, this guy called in from the Canadian military, and he was like smashed. He was so wasted.
I remember that, actually. That was on your best of episode, right? I think.
No, I don't think I put it on the best of episode where he gave his name. He goes like, and he gave his full name. And then he started talking shit about the Canadian military and like all the diversity stuff in the Canadian military. But he was so drunk. And then I just get a call on, because the thing is, at the time I had like a SIM card for like this other phone number that I would just take out. And then I think it was the following week I came back to the studio. I plugged it in for the next show, and I had like a voicemail from him being like, "Hey, can you please just remove that segment from the show?" Which I couldn't. I cut it out from the like. If you ever go listen to that episode on Spotify or Apple Music, I actually do bleep out his name there. But like, you can't really.
That is nice of you to do that.
Yeah, I did. And it took me like some time to go do that, but I couldn't do it on YouTube. I just you can't do it. But so anyways, don't give me your fucking last names, especially if you're gonna go talk shit about your job.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen my last name. I don't mind sharing.
I'm sure I've seen it, but yeah. But I'm just saying, like, and obviously I don't know how much shit you're talking, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. But I don't have much on things that people don't believe. I was just calling in. I got tickets to a pretty cool concert coming up. I'm going to see Atmosphere and Slightly Stupid. Do you like those bands? Those groups at all?
Slightly Stupid. I've never heard of Atmosphere. Slightly Stupid. I used to listen to like kind of a little bit, like 20 years ago. I couldn't even name you one song, but I do remember them. I haven't even heard their name since a long time. I don't
for a long time.
I don't even know.
Like the last time I had a Fish show or something, probably.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't even. Yeah, I haven't heard of them in a long ass.
You say 20 years ago. You're a very, very old man. Very old man.
I am. Yeah. Well, it says I'm just looking at them now. It says they started recording in 94. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 311 will probably be there too, so I'm sure it'll be some
311's. Yeah, 311's a shit. I really like 311.
They're good. Yeah, they're really good live. Excited for it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, just calling to say hi. Wife and kid are not home yet, so.
All right, cool.
Thanks. Have a good night, Danny. Take care. See you later, buddy.
Jimbo from Washington. Everybody, what's up? Yeah, the thing that happened to you that nobody believes. Topic for the evening. We got the Goob calling. Oh, this is just basically all the cast of everybody. Hello. What's up, Goob?
What's up, Danny?
How you doing, man?
Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
How's it going?
I was gonna say you sounded like shit there for a second, but I guess there's something.
Yeah, just had some shit in my throat. Sorry.
Yeah. It's all, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. So the AI, OpenAI just came out with a video like 6 hours ago, debuting Chat GPT-4.
I saw that. I tried to figure out how to get access to it, but I don't think you can unless you're like on a professional plan or something.
Yeah, but I don't think it's smarter than the smartest people yet, but like it's already smarter than your average person, I think.
For sure. Even ChatGPT 3, like I don't know how many people, like if I feel like everybody's used it at this point. Not everybody, but I think like a lot of online people probably have. But yeah, it's for sure it is. And they're saying ChatGPT 4 like it passed like the LSAT and like, it's like basically passing all these tests in like top 90th percentile. So it's not even like just barely passing these things. Like it's actually.
Yeah, I think we're a lot less than 2 years away from.
Like 2 years from it, like just full on taking over.
I mean, yeah, because like Shkreli was talking about that point where once it's smarter than us, like it'll be able to. Because it also probably takes the LSAT in 10 seconds?
Yeah, exactly.
So like once it's able to improve itself, once it's smarter than us, it's just immediately like it's like light speed from there,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it seems like it's going to be smarter than us pretty darn soon at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I guess it just seems like such a crazy prediction to be like, yeah, we're 2 years away from just.
Yeah, because this didn't exist, like you were saying, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fastest product to hit I think it was 1 million was what it was. Facebook took like fastest to 1 million users. ChatGPT did it in was it ChatGPT? It has 100. Yeah, it already hit 100 million by January, 2 months after its launch.
Yeah, it's
like that is so crazy. It said it took
evolving very
TikTok
quickly.
9 months to reach 100 million users, Instagram 2.5 years to reach 100 million users, and it got there in 2 months. Yeah, so. I mean, I guess the question is, what does that mean? Because there's been so many things throughout history where there's some new technology and everybody's like, we're so fucked. And then people generally have just adapted and found new things to do. But, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if fucked, but like it's going to change everything.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully for the better. I mean, I'm sure it'll. There are tons of jobs where you have to think like you are kind of screwed, like especially if you do these like really specific like almost middlemaning type jobs where you kind of have like a little moat around what you do and you kind of just know how to do this thing and it can do it as well, like I mean like contract stuff is a really good one where you have to assume eventually you could be like, yeah, this contract that it makes is like very reliable, so you don't have to, because I mean I guess at the end of the day if it's something super serious and you had a contract made on ChatGPT, you'd still want a person to look at it if it was something that really mattered. But
right, but that's a lot less work. Like that's just reviewing something versus
for sure. And I mean, so, and like, eventually it will.
And like you said, that's only for the serious things. So
yeah, and it'll probably figure that out anyways too. Like that'll get sorted out as well, where it'll be able to.
2 months, man. 2 months. It's going to be taking over the world.
Yeah. I mean,
we're so close. I like really that video from OpenAI, just seeing what it was capable of. I was like, we're close.
I mean, go look at the Mid-Journey, not Stable Diffusion. Yeah, it was the Mid-Journey 5 photos. I don't know if you've seen that. There's
I've seen some photos from it, but I don't know.
Mid-Journey came out with like basically version 5. I don't think it's out yet, but they came out with these photos and they're like hyper realistic. Like it's hard to believe that these are made like by an AI thing. Like it's just like some pic. Like go if you just go Google Midjourney V5. We'll go look at some of this stuff in the after show actually, but
yeah,
it's
it's getting very advanced very quickly.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Or we're utopia. One.
Yeah,
or,
it could be one of the. It could be
a bit of column A, a bit of column B.
Feels like it's hard to believe that this is just going to work out for everybody, but would be great, I suppose. I'm like, but can it work out for everybody on the globe? Like, this is the kind of thing where like, because everybody says like utopia, and they're like, you mean just like when they say nobody's gonna have to work anymore, and they're like, you mean in like America though, right? Like, surely they can't solve this for the world. Like, there still needs to be, like, is this going to replace farming?
Yeah. I mean, there's not even, like, infrastructure. And
yeah. There's so many things
what is AI going to do there?
Yeah, there's so many things that it won't replace. Like, it's just going to replace these, like, tasks and stuff that are, but physical labor, so many physical labor things and, like, skilled labor stuff, it's not.
Oh, that's safe for a long time, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. Until they just, I don't know if you take.
I don't know
what happens when you take like the AI and then you pair it with those like crazy Boston Dynamics robots,
and then it starts like learning exponentially. Yeah, maybe it's not a long time.
And like you can have a stable of those things, and they learn how to repair them. Like it's not even like you need a person to repair the broken parts. It's like one of the working machines is repairing the broken ones, and like I don't know.
Yeah, we could be iRobot, Matrix, all that shit within like a very short time.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, man. Let's hear some more stories.
The show's gone off the rails since Andrew from Canada called in. All right, later, dude. Goob, everybody. Show fully off the rails. All right, we got a call. Hello.
Hello, am I on?
You are on.
Okay, what's up? Hey, so this is going to be rejects from the Boys Cast, that articles Ryan didn't pick. I've got one for you.
Okay.
Also, this is Craig.
How's it going, buddy? Long time.
What's up, man? Okay. Title of the article. I just sent it to you on Discord. By the way.
You sent it? You dropped it in the... Okay, let me look in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, I DM'd you. All right. DuckDuckGo said no, but when I reapplied as a black lesbian who can't speak English, they wanted me.
Yeah.
And that
doesn't seem so controversial.
That's pretty much it. So they gave a also on Discord. I forgot about this. This is from weeks ago, but I also DM'd you. There's some dude that got stabbed to death in Canada. There was like these teen girls that like met on TikTok.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I think we talked about this. I think we might have talked about this on one of the Patreon episodes for this. But yeah,
oh shit, okay.
But I don't remember. But yeah, this guy in Toronto got killed by a bunch of girls who swarmed him.
Did you hear about that before I sent that to you?
Yeah. Because I still follow Canadian news, like on Twitter. I still follow all these like Canadian accounts and stuff. So I did. I remember hearing about it when it happened.
It's fucking Tumblr murderers, dude. Hey, it'd be cool. Let's fucking stab somebody to death.
And they met on what, TikTok?
I don't know. I mean, I just named a I didn't realize you looked at it, but like. Yeah, they met online, and I guess they were just like, let's go murder somebody. That'd be cool.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
And they don't know who they are because in Canada they don't disclose that information if you're
okay.
A minor.
All right. So this guy originally applied, and then he applied again, and like the answers that he gave, they're not like super funny. They're pretty good. All right. So
okay.
Since asking questions and questioning assumptions are big parts of our culture, we are curious to ask, what questions would you have for us? As a POC, person of color, and lesbian, would I feel welcome in your company? Culture is very space, important to me. Will you now or in the future require visa sponsorship to work legally in your current country or residence? Not sure. I may not be in the United States or legally.
This is what they answered their questions?
Yeah, and they were like, "Get in here, dude. You're fucking in."
I mean, the thing is like he's yeah. Oh, so just some context. This person was applying to work at the company DuckDuckGo, like the they're like a browser, right? And
search engine.
I mean, everybody knows this though. There's so many companies who are like getting in trouble for their lack of diversity, which is hilarious because in what was it, which Malcolm Gladwell book was it, where you're like, if you have a black sounding name on your resume,
Outliers,
right? And then you're like, if you have like certain sounding names, like races or whatever, like it becomes more difficult to get jobs. And then now it's like we've just flipped completely.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I speaking of SVB though, here
Silicon Valley Bank for the
I'll go through the stuff that I think Ryan is not going to pick for tomorrow, but okay. This was like a LinkedIn post.
Yeah.
This isn't SPV related, but I'll get to it. But so like there's this post that it was like this ad campaign that was like, imagine CEO. Is it a man? Imagine a feminist. Is it a woman? Imagine a nurse. Is it a woman?
Yes.
And I was like, imagine a man shitting in the middle of the street. Was it a homeless person?
What is this? A LinkedIn
This
post?
is just some ad campaign I saw on LinkedIn. Somebody screenshot it and was like, this is the best ad campaign I've ever seen. This is doing real work. Okay, something else that's really important. So the EU, you know GDPR?
Kind of. Yeah. No. What exactly is it? I know it's like some internet rule for Europe, right?
Okay, GDPR. You know how you go to websites sometimes and they'll like pop up like, do you accept our cookies kind of thing?
Yeah.
That's like GDPR. So like one of the rules is like, if you do business in the EU, you have to like affirmatively consent to cookies. You can't just like passively track people.
Basically, yeah.
Without
So
the
it's
consent.
the General Data Protection Regulation, and it was an EU thing, but they have to apply it all over the world. Like
they don't have to apply it all over, but it's some people just do it because it's just easier. They're like, okay, yeah, well, I'll just apply this to everybody. You know what I mean? So it kind of like raises the bar for privacy for everybody
and
in
I
some
guess
circumstances.
unless your website, you're like, yeah, my website, like we don't service the Europe at all.
Exactly. Yeah. That happened at my last company. We were like, we can't do business here because we don't want to comply with these regulations.
So then you just couldn't do business in all of Europe.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So there's these new. Hold on. Take a drink. So there's this new proposal. It's fucking crazy. They want to scan every piece of communication in the European Union for child porn. They want to basically any end-to-end encryption won't exist anymore. So like I use Signal with my friends.
Yeah.
So it's like private communication. It probably is still like I use like a de-Googled Android phone. They probably use iPhone, so Apple probably scans it. But anyway.
But I don't think they can though. I thought the whole thing is Apple says they can't. Or
I don't know.
Or you just don't believe them.
Oh, for iMessage for sure they're looking at everything, but I'm talking about like a different app.
Yeah, I know. I know what Signal is. Yeah.
So it would basically break that. Like they want to scan every piece of communication and send it to the European government for you to look at and make sure you're not looking at child porn.
Yeah, which is the smartest for them, because the thing is like probably for all like terrorism and crime and like organized crime and like drug dealing and like all this stuff, Signal really has fucked them over because they really can't get in there. Like it really is end-to-end encrypted. Like they can't intercept. Like it's probably made their lives so much harder fighting crime. But if they say, well, we need to get in there because it's like, who's going to say no to intercepting child pornography?
I know, dude. It fucking is I think it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, obviously I'm against CP, but like, I mean, I also don't want every single thing I say ever to be sent to the government. You know what I mean?
In America, because like the European government.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is like if Europe passes this law, it's like, you know, Apple's going to break and like Apple's going to have to comply with these regulations. So they're just going to do the same thing. They're just going to apply it to us. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to have any special loopholes for. Maybe they will. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like something else will come out. Like if this happens, like they'll I do feel like it's kind of like cat and mouse somewhat, but if something like this comes out, I feel like they're going to have to. I mean, people won't tolerate it. I thought Twitter's coming out with end-to-end encryption in their direct messages at some point.
But anybody that does business, you just have to not do business in the EU, and all these fucking pigs will still do business in the EU.
Right. Well,
You know?
I guess there'll
Anyway.
be some company who's like, "Hey, we do end-to-end encryption app, like a Signal, that just doesn't fuck with the EU," and then that's just like.
Yeah, I think I would assume Signal would just not do business in the EU.
Yeah, exactly. Signal will just not do business in the EU. WhatsApp
Yeah.
won't leave the EU though, so WhatsApp will no longer be encrypted.
But like even at like the OS level, like if you're like if I'm talking to somebody with an iPhone, I assume that still means that it's still going to be scanned, right? Because it's
No,
on the OS level.
No, I don't think so. I like, as far as I understand, and I could be wrong on this, but I thought like, yeah, they can't see it on either device. Like that's
I don't know,
that's
man.
kind of the point.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't totally know about this either, but I
One last thing. Okay, so the SVB chief of risk
Yep.
was this? Have you heard about this?
Of
Her
course,
name's
I was sharing it in our group chat. She was like,
fuck.
like she was like chief of risk in chief risk.
Yeah,
officer,
yeah.
I think in the UK, but she was all into like all the diversity, LGBT, all that stuff. Like
Get woke, grow broke, but with our entire economy.
yeah. Although apparently they saved the economy. Apparently everything's fine now.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Okay.
I don't buy it at all that it's totally fine, but everybody's trying to make it out like, oh, it's all good. Nothing to worry about.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Craig. Nice talking to you, man.
See you, bye.
All right. We've called an audible on the episode, everybody. We went from fucking the thing that happened to you that nobody believes, and now we're just talking about AI and bank collapses and all that shit. Hello.
Hey, Danny, it's Format.
Hey,
or
what's up,
whatever.
man? How you doing, buddy?
Chilling. So I don't have any stories that nobody really believes me about, but there was when buddy, I forget his name, when Chad called in earlier in the show.
Yeah.
It reminded me of he was talking about how he was back in the day getting all paranoid about Illuminati and shit, and it actually kind of reminded me of a story that's a little bit on topic. So I knew this dude that was we were all smoking weed one day, and he's coming around and telling us like, yo, I can fucking prove to y'all right now that, you know, Illuminati is real and it's actually the CIA. CIA is Illuminati.
The CIA
And we're
is
like,
the
"What
Illuminati?
hell?"
Okay.
Right, and the guy's like, all right, do this. Spell Illuminati backwards, .com, and put it into your browser. So it took me exactly like half a second to be like, are you fucking retarded? Like, so basically, yeah, if you type in Illuminati backwards, .com, it takes you to the CIA website, or at least back in the day it did. Nowadays it takes you to the NSA website. So
yeah, but somebody just owns that domain and is just redirecting it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like someone like bought it.
Redirect.
They just pay $10 for it, and it just you can redirect anyway.
Yeah,
it's so now it goes to a Honda website.
Yeah, the level of gullibility on that dude is overpowering. But right now, I tried to double check that just now to see where it takes you, and I just did a Google search for Itani Muley. That's Illuminati backwards, and Google really ain't helping those gullible people, because if you just you don't even have to type in .com, you just type in Illuminati backwards, the first search result that it gives you, NSA website.
Well, I just typed it in and I got the NSA website is the first thing that come up, but I just did it backwards and I got fucking Honda website. So
yeah, so but another story. So the same guy that was telling us that story, I tell him an actual real story, and he doesn't buy this, right? So I tell him about how there are these fucking spider goats, right? Like goats that have spider DNA in them.
Goats?
that produce. There are goats that have spider DNA in them that produce spider silk through their mammary glands.
Okay.
Right. So in their milk, they produce like hella spider silk because like some fucking smart ass scientist decided to stick them with spider DNA, and that's like a real thing, right? Like basically nowadays, like a lot of like what back in the day was a Kevlar vest.
Yeah.
A lot of these like bulletproof vests, they're made with this material because that spider silk shit. It's incredibly so strong, and so so that they actually like because you cannot have a farm of spiders to get spider silk from them because it just doesn't work out. They kill each other. They don't produce a lot. So you need a better way to do it. So they just
they figured out you could get it via goat.
Yeah, they just engineered the goats, and that's a real story. Like you can.
Yeah,
you
no,
can
I'm looking
find,
at it right
real
now.
stories.
We got a lot of good shit for the after show. Actually, we're gonna watch or go into this, a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Synthetic biology and the rise of spider goats.
Yeah, it's real shit. And so I tell the guy that story, and he was just making hella fun of me. He's like, dude, you're so fucking stupid. You believe in spider goats. While this motherfucker was buying the fucking Illuminati backwards bullshit. But anyways, that's my...
Interesting. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, man.
I
Appreciate it. Spider goats. I've never fucking heard of spider goats. That is definitely a new one for myself. All right. I don't know. Maybe I gave you guys bad options for the topic this week. I might have done that because none of you want to talk about the bank. I guess it's not that kind of crowd. Fair enough. We had one person on Twitter who said that they thing that happened to them that nobody believes is they wrecked 11 cars, 6 of them as rollovers, never injured. He says, I believe in seatbelts. Fucking better. Hello.
Hey, Danny.
What is up? Thanks for calling Low Value Mail. Yes, who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Matt.
How you doing?
I'm a first-time caller.
Hell yeah. Love the first-time callers. How is it going, Matt?
It's going good. So, like, the other dude was just talking about, like Illuminati and stuff. You know all that?
Yep.
Okay, so here's just have you heard of rings within rings?
Rings within rings? No.
Yeah. Have you heard it? Okay, so that's how they run the world. The Illuminati's real.
Oh, like the magic kind of like a magician would have that? Baromean
No.
rings?
It's how they set up their structure. So it's done like so the Illuminati's real, and like now they're doing all those weird little like the OK sign, but it's like John Cena and like I don't know Will Smith and like I don't know Bill Clinton, and they're all doing that OK sign.
Yeah.
They're all in the Illuminati. It's real. And the way that they tell them that they're in it is through those hand signs, right? But it's not like the Illuminati is not like the end all be all of it. It's like a lot of different groups. It's like the Freemasons. It's the Bilderberg group. It's the.
You know what's so funny with the Freemasons is because everybody's like, I was at a comedy show and there was like a group of like a huge group of Freemasons there. Having dinner at this restaurant, and they were like, they were like all these just like kind of they were like nice. They're just like all these really just like old like fat guys, and you're like, I don't know if these guys are the ones who are running the world.
Well, so the Freemasons actually are more like a group of people who get together, go to church, and do potlucks.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get bad till you get like up in the upper echelon, and that's the rings within rings. So like within all these groups, there's like the people at the top, right?
Yeah.
Well, the people at the top aren't actually at the top. They're a part of another group. So the Freemasons will sit in on like I'm just telling you this like just as I don't know. It's fun to think about.
Go ahead.
But like even in the Bilderberg group. So like at the Bilderberg group, there's like the announcers and the people who run stuff. And they're in another group. There's a group called the Rhodes Scholarship Committee. And
Rhodes Scholarship. Yeah, that's a part of it.
Yeah, they pick like future presidents. Like Bill Clinton
was a Rhodes Scholar. I know that.
Who was that?
Bill Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, but it's like a bunch of them. And then when it gets all the way up to the top, so like Dick Cheney and what's his name? McCain.
Yeah.
John McCain, Dick Cheney and John McCain are one of the like inner circle. So if you like follow these groups around, I know John McCain is passed, you know, I don't mean to speak bad about someone that's passed, but
Yeah.
if you look at these like inner circles, they're always there at these meetings and they're always like at the top. And so they're not just at Bilderberg, they're at Bilderberg, they're at the World Exchange Commission, they're at the I don't have it all right, I didn't have this prepared. It's just someone mentioned conspiracy.
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
I figured
Yeah, fuck
so but one of the big things is rings within rings and then, you know, corruption, all that crap. But that was it. I just want to say, man, I love your skits that you do with like Ryan and the skits that you put out. They're amazing.
Man. Oh, dude, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are basically geniuses.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. I got a good one coming out tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, and then, well, what's that?
I said I got a good one coming out tomorrow, but I just have to go edit it.
I'll look for it. So I have you on. I have my notifications on for you. So when you put one out, I get to see it immediately.
Hell yeah.
And then it seems like you guys are always like so far ahead. Like so there's like your typical like political like sarcasm and stuff that I think like anybody can think of, but it's like you guys are always thinking of something like new and creative. That's like
yeah. I mean, we try to. I was actually thinking about it that like me and Ryan actually, especially when we lived in Canada, like it almost hurt us that we were so far ahead of stuff. Like culturally, where people are like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah, but it really took off when you guys started doing YouTube. I mean, you guys are
totally. But we were like in Canada, I remember like people were like, you guys are crazy. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like we were we were talking about like pronouns and stuff like legitimately like 7-8 years ago. And at the time people were like, what are you talking about? Like what is.
But yeah, I'm not sure anybody saw, you know, what, maybe you and Ryan, but definitely not me, the way the world would be like today, you know?
No. I have no idea about that kind of stuff. But you're just the kind of the stuff that we talk about generally. Like we have I guess a good understanding of probably what people are going to care about.
Yeah. And then that the Martin Schreckle, I'm sorry,
Martin Shkreli,
yeah, I don't say his name right, but man, it was refreshing to see. It was like more serious, and I learned a lot in that.
Dude, it was like, honestly, I was telling Ryan, I was like, man, that was like one of the better guests we've had, just because that was when we were doing the show. I was like, man, I would watch this podcast, like I would just to like, because he knows so much shit about all the stuff stuff that I'd never heard about. I actually said that to him. I go like, the stuff he's talking about, you'll be seeing people talking about on podcasts in like 2 months from now on like more like mainstream podcasts.
Right. Yeah, it was really good. It was like watching, almost like watching, what's that guy who busted Sam Bankman-Fried online?
CoffeeZilla.
Yeah, it was almost like watching like a CoffeeZilla podcast. It was like, you know, had a good vibe and I learned a lot.
Yeah, totally. We're actually gonna hopefully have him on the Boys Cast soon.
Right. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't want to take up your whole night, but one thing that I think is super funny is that if you don't like censor artificial intelligence, it's super racist and super sexist.
That's what I heard. I haven't got a chance to try it out for myself, but yeah, that's what Martin said.
Yeah, well, no, they got to censor it. Like I think, you know, Joe Rogan has a thing on it, and they go in and try to like type in stuff and it doesn't say anything, and they go to like a super racist and sexist one, it'll say anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
that was it, man.
Cool, buddy.
I said, big fan. Thanks for picking up. This is really cool.
Appreciate it. Take care.
All right.
All right. We got a little more time here before the Patreon show. If you want to join us on the after show, I got a lot of stuff lined up, a lot of cool shit that has been brought up tonight. Hello.
Hey,
what's up? Thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
How's it going?
I am well. Who am I speaking with?
This is Mitch Cronin. I'm calling
Mitch.
First time caller.
I hope you don't say anything incriminating because you just gave away your last name, but maybe you don't care.
Oh, that's okay. That's not my real name.
Okay, good. Excellent.
It's a fake name.
Good. Even if it is your real name, we're going to say it's a fake name.
Yeah, well, no, it's definitely a fake name. I'm not that dumb.
Okay. Well, I mean, we did have this guy in the Army call in and give away his real name.
No,
not to say that he's particularly smart, but what's up, Mitch?
I was just driving, listening to the Shkreli.
Oh.
Just laughing. He just feels like such a like evil genius goon, but like in the best way.
He is a bit of an evil genius goon, yeah. Yeah, he definitely
Yeah,
is.
so I know you guys have like, so I've been listening to the Boys Cast for quite a while. Back in my days when I was growing flowers and like actual perennial and annual and stuff, and
You actually grew you did this
greenhouses, man.
hobbyist?
No, like I lived right by a big nursery, and I got to like work in greenhouses and grow flowers.
And you just kind of got into that stuff?
Yeah, like listened real heavy to you guys and Tim Dillon, and
nice.
Kind of found my groove back in life again, and was like
nice.
Just always really appreciative of all the laughs and the good vibes. And
oh, thanks, man.
God, like I just remember listening to the intro song when you guys were fucking with it every week, dude. That was the best. And still to this day, man, it kills me.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so cool. I appreciate it. And do you have anything you want to talk about? Or excuse me.
I guess. Okay. The only thing I'd like to bring up, I know you got a video to edit here, but
no. We have the after show at 11, but
for sure.
No video to edit right now. But anyways, continue. Go on.
See, I'm on the Boys Cast Patreon, but I gotta get in on Low Value Mail, man. I'll be there. Don't worry.
No,
but
dude,
my dad sent me the Project Veritas video of you and thought it was real. And when you guys brought up all the comments and stuff, I couldn't stop laughing. Like he was so pissed.
Oh, the Project Veritas, which one? The new CEO one?
Where you pretended to be the CEO.
Yeah. That one was honestly, because that one, normally like I have an idea for a sketch and that one was specifically just like, I just can fool a lot of people here. I didn't honestly, I didn't even think that one was like super, super funny. But I was like, I know that I can make this look so good that it'll fool just tons of fucking people, which in and of itself is funny to me. But apparently I might get sent to jail over this shit. And I didn't know that what I'm doing is apparently illegal, but
I mean,
I guess I just can't fuck with
elections. It
elections.
Seems like parody, right?
Well, there's this dude, we talked at the top of the show, but this guy who's like fucking with who made these memes that are fucking in the
2016
election, and he's like facing 10 years in jail for memes.
God, I can't even believe that's real, man. That's crazy.
I know. I also could not. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really funny the way it got to him was like through my
Was he mad?
gun. Yeah, he was pissed. He was like, look at this. Like they just like got rid of this guy. Like I can't believe this. Look at who they brought in. Like, and I was laughing so hard. I'm like, Dad, I've shared these videos with you. You know who this guy is. And he got sent it by my aunt, who's all over Facebook. You know, like
I can't even imagine where
Missouri chick.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like what rounds that probably made, like on Facebook with like me obviously not tagged in it, so I don't know. But people probably like, kind of shared it on some group, and then probably Facebook went nuts with it.
Oh, it had even like the captions on the top, and it had been reframed. It was like the angry nose blowing emojis. Like this world's ruined.
That's honestly that is why I make those videos, for exactly that. And I sometimes don't even get to share in that. Like I don't even know about it, but I just kind of know that somewhere someone is getting.
It made my month.
That's great.
Oh God, so thank you. And I just wanted to say, like, keep up the good work. All the like solo skits you were doing were just killing me. So
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Keep up at it.
Thanks,
and thanks for all your time.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay. All right, we got time for one more caller if anybody wants to call in. Otherwise, I will catch some of y'all on the Patreon episode at 11 o'clock. The links are on Patreon, YouTube, locals. You can find them. All right, last call of the night. Hello, thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Hey, what's up? It's No Flemets.
No Flemets. All Flemets. What's up, dog? Did you get your shirt?
I did. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure you got it. How are things? Mr. All Flemets himself, the man who coined the term. I guess you didn't coin the term. Your parents did. Or no, you did. No, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you thought it was All Flemets. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm down in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
So I have something that nobody believes me when I tell them.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
absolutely true.
Yeah, you're very few
I
people have
rode.
been able to. Okay, go. Yeah, go ahead.
I rode a bucking rhinoceros
You rode a rhinoceros? Where?
that was trying to get me off of its back.
I mean, I imagine. How'd you get on its back?
So I was at this like sanctuary in Kenya,
Okay.
and I was like shooting for it. So like after everybody left for the day, the guards, they were like, come here. So it
Shooting
was
like
a
you were
blind...
filming. You weren't trying to shoot the
Yeah,
animals
yeah.
with a gun.
No, I wasn't shooting animals.
Yeah. Because for a second there, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, right. You're
No.
film and stuff.
So after everybody left, they were like, come here. Do you want to ride him? And it was a blind rhinoceros that was raised in captivity, right?
Okay.
So it was just like me and the guards, like, shouldn't have been doing this really. So I was like, hell yeah. And I got on it, and it, like, apparently it's been done 100 times before, but it freaked out and wanted me off of its back. And like a bull, you know, like a rodeo.
Yeah.
I
mean, is it like the size of a bull?
It's like the size of an F-150, man. It's like enormous. It feels like you're sitting on a truck. Yeah, nobody believes me. I've told that story 1,000 times. Nobody believes me.
Nobody believes that you fucking rode a rhinoceros. Jesus, was it like docile otherwise?
Yeah, because it was blind, so it was like just chill and eating plants, and
Yeah.
it seemed totally safe. But then like it just freaked out.
Just freaked out, and it was like, was it like bucking, or was it kind of just trying to spin around or something?
It was spinning, and then like its back legs coming up.
Okay, and what happened? Like, what happened? Did you just like jump off, or?
Eventually, it like chilled out.
Oh, okay.
I rode it like.
Oh, you did
successfully.
eventually ride it. Oh, okay. Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. Cool. That is that is probably the story of the night that seems most likely to have happened and also most unbelievable. So that's a good way to wrap it up. Thanks for calling. How's Mexico?
It's muy bien.
Muy bien. Okay, cool. Be careful out there. All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Later.
See ya.
Okay, everybody, that has been the show for tonight. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, for calling in. I appreciate you all very much. Don't forget, no show next week. I will be at the... Oh, we got Chad calling. Well, we'll pick up for Chad. Chad is a VIP. What's up, Chad?
Yo, what's going on, Danny?
How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. Hey, man, I feel like the show went off the
totally
rails.
off the rails, which is fine. I don't mind that at all.
Nah, it was great, man. Shit, I just want, I never really told you how I ended up finding your content in the first place.
How did you find my content in the first place?
It's a long, convoluted story that I'll make short. So I was a couple years ago, I was just listening to a whole bunch of like Jordan Peterson. Like I had found him or whatever, and he was just, going against all that woke stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was going through stuff in my life, so at that time I feel like I hadn't had like a good laugh in a long time.
Okay.
And then I found that comedian that came out with that Nanette. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Hannah Gadsby. You needed a good laugh, and Hannah Gadsby came up?
No. Well, I needed a good laugh, but I didn't get it from her.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I was listening to that, and then I was like, man, this is just terrible. But then I found Nanette 2 by your man, Ryan Long.
Gotcha.
And that fucking Nanette 2 was one, man, that gave me such a great laugh. I hadn't laughed that good in years.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and then so I just started listening to the boys' cast, and then I found you.
Weird, man. It's a weird world that like that now. Just the way you can kind of just come on to something like randomly on whatever app, and
yeah, man. It went from Ben Shapiro to Jordan Peterson to Ryan Long.
That's the pipeline, man.
Polisher.
Yeah, that's the pipeline, dude. That's the fucking not the what did they used to call it, like the intellectual dark web or whatever for a bit.
Yeah, I be hearing that. I never knew what they was talking about when they said that.
It was the nerdiest shit. You're like, I think it was people who didn't like them was calling it like the intellectual dark web. And then,
because
you wind up watching comedy. And you're like, all right,
yeah,
nonsense.
I mean, it could have went worse.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure some people got pretty radicalized. They went down the wrong path, but not Chad.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool,
Just
buddy.
wanted to, yeah, man. All right.
Appreciate you, man. All right.
Yeah.
Chad, everybody. Okay, that has been the show. I'll catch some of you all. God damn it. Why do people keep calling in? All right. Should I answer this? All right. This is for reals last call of the night. For reals, last call. All right. Who am I speaking with? Make it quick.
Hey,
last call
you're
of the night.
speaking. You're speaking with Gilly. Two
Gilly.
things.
What's up, Gilly?
One, Gilly from Florida.
Yeah.
Just renovating my house. JJ came up a while ago talking about hacks, and he said,
on the bathhouse, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot which one it was, but it was probably one of
his catfishing
hacks.
one.
No, not the catfishing one.
Oh.
A while ago, it was a mattress hack. You buy one from Amazon and return it and get your money back.
Yeah.
I want to know which one did he purchase because I'm trying to get one and get my money back.
So I think if you buy any memory foam mattress on Amazon, I could be wrong, but what happens is they can't get it back from you because the thing is those things, like they come like wrapped in very tightly in plastic, and then they become huge. Okay. So once you open it, there's no way that you could get it back to them. So if you return it and you don't have some history of like returning tons of shit, I think they just will refund your money on that. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's the deal. All right, last question. You have one more?
Well, I just wanted to talk about you guys talked about things that people didn't believe happened to you or something.
Yep.
Okay. I had a situation when I was like maybe 14, 15 where I would just have like premonition dreams. It was weird.
Okay.
So I'd dream about something and like later on in life like it would happen. So I had a situation where I had a 2-story house and I looked out the window and I was like, oh man, it's happening. Something weird's gonna happen. I dreamt it before. So I had a driveway. My mom would always pull into the driveway, but in the dream, she pulled up to the side of the driveway. Whole bunch of things happened, and then the future happened, and then she pulled up the way that she did it in the dream.
What do you
mean
pulled
like,
up the way in the dream?
Okay, so let's just say in the past, my mom would always pull into the driveway, but a bunch of things happened that caused her to not pull into the driveway, pull up to the side of the driveway because we were sealing the driveway. But in the dream, none of that was a factor. She just pulled up on the side of the road,
Right.
not like she would usually do. She would always pull into the driveway. So like 2 and 2 came together, and I was like, oh man, we're sealing the driveway.
And then she
she
pulled
pulled up
in. Okay.
the same way it happened in the dream.
Weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
And that happened multiple times?
I would have multiple, like, I would...
Similar
that's
things
the
like
thing
that?
to call them was... Yeah. So something would happen and I'd dream it, and it'd be something completely weird because I don't know what this is. And then things would line up, and it would just happen.
Weird.
Just like in the dream. But it would just be random things. It'd never be like lotto tickets or like...
Yeah. Never like
getting
the
a
winning.
blowed.
Yeah. Just weird, random shit. I don't know. All right, Gilly, I gotta let you go, man. I'm sorry, but thanks for calling in.
Hey, man. Have a good one, dude.
You too.
I'll see you later. Bathhouse. Bye.
Yeah, later, bud. All right, that has actually been the show for realsies. Super serious this time. Patreon episode after show starting in 10 minutes, roughly from now. No Low Value Mail next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks, but we will be back tomorrow night with a new episode of the Bathhouse Live at 10:30 from the Stand Comedy Club Green Room. Come join me. It is a fun time. All right, thanks very much, everybody. I'll catch you all soon. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
You know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurt. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5 got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track. clock running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. And they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. I'm pulling up fresh on some